And welcome to another episode of Experts Speak. I'm Michael DeLon. Today, I am talking with Wayne Ledoux. And Wayne, first of all, thanks for scheduling me or squeezing me into your schedule. I know you and I are back to back today, it seems like.
Yes, yeah, we are, Mike. How's your day going so far?
It is fantastic. It is great. I'm loving the weather and everything. So what we want to talk about, Wayne helps coaches, consultants, business owners really perfect the inbound marketing of the business. So you can almost put that on autopilot so that he can get you a regular, steady flow of high quality appointments that turn into clients. So that's what we want to dive into. But before we get there, Wayne, tell us, how in the world did you get to doing this?
The short answer, Michael, is on accident. So if you would have asked the previous version of me if I would be running a marketing company at 37 years old and living in San Diego where I do, I would have probably laughed at you. Back before the 2008 crisis, I was actually in the Air Force, and I had come back to California to finish school and take advantage of the GI Bill and all that stuff. And I knew that if I went and got my A&P license and fixed airplanes, that I could make six figures. Mm-hmm. But because of the 2008 crisis, all the Boeings and the Lockheeds and everybody weren't necessarily in a position to make that happen. So I asked the college counselor, I said, how do I make six figures? And she told me, you need to be an accountant. And
you shoot her?
I said, well, that's not going to work. What's next? And she said, you need to be in marketing. And my wife and I left where we were at college at the time in 2009 and moved to San Diego. And I was just looking to pick up a job while I got done, while we got settled. And that company was an Inc. 5000 company that used to do marketing and websites and all that stuff for real estate agents.
Okay.
So I spent the next 6 years of my life cutting my teeth in at Inc. 5000 companies and Fortune 500 companies being a sales rep. And actually ended up being really, really good at it. In 2015, I ended up working at a solar company, and the solar company decided that they were going to let everybody go off of their six-figure base and their medical and their dental and their 401k and try to make us work on a draw.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, for those that aren't familiar, working on a draw means that they'll give you the same salary that they gave you before, but if you don't meet certain metrics, they rake it back.
That's right. You got to give it back.
Yep. Yeah. So my son was 2 at the time. So I made my boss fire me so I could collect unemployment. Right. I worked for a friend under the table for 6 months, and then I sold my stuff to the solar company, to the solar companies on the side.
Okay. Wow.
I did that for about 6 months, and then by that point, we got to the point where we were making 5 figures again, and everybody was happy.
Cool.
Fast forward to 2019, 2020, the solar industry is doing really, really well. COVID happens.
Right.
We had a 100K a year business because I had taken the business from just a referral-based business, and we were doing Facebook ads and Instagram ads, and we had some native ads through Taboola and all that stuff going. It was a 100K a month business. Mm-hmm. I had picked up a side project from a men's marriage coach that he just wasn't happy with his existing marketing company. And when COVID happened, 2 things. First, the solar company started calling us saying, hey, we can't use the leads. We can't get into the home. What do we do? And the men's marriage coach had his first 30K month that he'd ever had.
Huh.
So I had to make a choice.
Yeah.
Teach the solar companies how to sell virtually, which I at the time, I didn't really know how I was going to do that.
Right.
Or take the success we were having in this COVID-proof business and leverage that for a switch. That's how Mayhem Digital Media itself was born.
I love it. I love
stories. So winding road, like I said, it was an accident, but a happy one.
Yeah. Well, the word that came to my mind as you were talking about that, Wayne, is resilient. And that's really what entrepreneurs have to be, is resilient, and I've been in my business. This is my 11th year, and I've recreated myself and my company, a dozen times, just trying to figure it all out until you land on it. So, well done, way to go. So let's talk about inbound marketing. So let's talk about, people out there who have coaching programs, high ticket coaching programs, consultants and things. I mean, marketing's a struggle, right? People try to figure out, what do? They do Facebook, they do LinkedIn. Let's talk about your system. What do you help them do with inbound marketing and things? How do you, what's your What do you do?
Well, I mean, here's the thing is that whether it's a solar company or a real estate agent or a high ticket coach, the funny thing is that when you actually start to look at things from a 30,000 foot type of view, what you realize is that all of those companies and all of those organizations kind of do the same thing. They put out a message and they put out an advertisement in a place where there's eyeballs. They drive that traffic to a location that tells those people about how that traffic can solve those problems. And then they use mechanisms like webinars and lead capture tools and text messages and emails and all that stuff in order to convert, no matter what it is.
That's right.
And so the funny thing is that when you do that and when you do it correctly, the leads come in, but it's all the minutia that happens in each of those that's the problem. And so as a high ticket coach or a course creator, you don't get paid to figure out all of the details in that minutia. You don't.
Right.
You get paid as a high ticket coach to talk to the people that want to know more about your programs and to work with the people that have already said yes to keep them paying you long term.
Right.
Anything above and beyond that is not related to the income that you make or the success that your business has. So in my professional opinion, should be either outsourced or learned at a level where you can create an SOP, a standard operating procedure to do that.
That's right.
And so when we come in, we take care of literally everything. It's the funnels, the landing pages, the tag, the automations. We want to make it so that way you do what you do best. And just in case this isn't clear by the way that I talk, I'm not a patient guy.
Yeah.
I'm not. So when we build those systems, we got to put gas in the systems and the tools and the techniques that are provided. And so we predicate everything on ads.
Yeah.
And so I highly advise that anybody that's getting ready to take that step, you take a look at where your traffic is coming from, and is it cold traffic? Is it warm traffic? Because the way that you talk to a cold audience is different than the way that you talk to the people that already know you, that might be subscribers to your podcast, for example, or maybe they know a person that you work with, so that person referred them to you. How you talk to that audience needs to be different than how you present the offer to the cold audience.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's all of this stuff that a lot of coaches, consultants, business owners, they don't get because they're not marketers and they've not been taught it. So it's not their fault, right? But that's all the more reason they need to hire somebody. You know, you and I have not known each other very long, but I tell my audience this all the time. Wayne, I'm good at 4 things in life. I'm wicked good at these 4 things. Outside of that, I am mediocre at best. So I've learned to build systems and hire people to do all that other stuff.
Mm-hmm. It's a key fundamental skill that needs to be not just learned, but exercised on a regular basis.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I read a book over
100%.
the holidays. It's called A CEO Does Only 3 Things. And the book made a really compelling case that as the CEO of a company, you should not be in the minutia of marketing and selling and all this stuff. You have higher level purposes and you should be delegating and driving. And it was a really good book.
What's it called again?
A CEO Does Only 3 Things.
So that's the title of the book?
That's it. That is the title of the book.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. And those 3 things are people, culture, and numbers. That's what a CEO is supposed to be doing. And then he has people that, he meets with who executes all of that. But the CEO's job is high level thinking. And how do we serve our clients? How do we make more money? Where's the vision? All that's what a CEO does. Too many times coaches, consultants get so distracted in the marketing or the selling that they're leaving money on the table because they're not staying focused on what you said earlier. This is where you make your money. Let me do this. This is my expertise. That's your expertise. Let's figure it out. Am I capturing it?
Yeah, 100%. That does come with a caveat though, Mike. And it's don't make the same mistake that I made when I was a new business owner and let go of the sales until
that's right.
Until the business itself is ready, and you know that there's somebody there that can pick that up. Because one of the biggest mistakes that I made in between 2016 and 2020 was trying to let go of the sales. I got burnt out on just talking to the same people and doing the same pitch and saying the same thing over and over again. But the business itself wasn't ready for me to step away from that role.
Right.
And when I did, we lost money, and it didn't matter that we were good at marketing or that leads were providing and leads were provided and all that stuff. There's a constant influx of, hey, this is going on in that person's business, that's going on in the other person's business, and it's a management thing. Yeah. And if you're not innately talented at managing those projects, then everything else is going to suffer as a direct result of it. Do not if you're when you do that type of stuff, make sure that the business is ready, that there's somebody that can come in, because once that does happen and you can actually go in and focus on being able to grow the revenue, that's when you start to see consistent 25, 30, 40K months. Right. When everybody is in their particular roles.
That's right. Yeah. So one of my coaches taught me the formula for building business is systems, then people, then resources. And you always build systems first. And a lot of times I'm building the system at the beginning, and then I've got my people to say, okay, take this now, make it better, right? And go do it. But this is the way we operate. And they can always make it better, but you build systems first, because here's one of my pet peeves is all the people out there saying, I can make you a 7-figure business. I'm making an 8-figure business. And the business owner doesn't have the systems to do it. It's the bottom line. It drives me nuts.
100%. And especially as somebody that's why I used to work on planes, because I can take stuff apart and put it back together in my brain and it all still works.
Yeah.
And
it's a plane, let's
systems,
hope so. Huh? I said, if it's a plane, let's hope so when you put it back together.
Yeah. Well, in the military, they have this saying, it says, people never rise to the occasion. They always fall to the fundamentals of their basic training.
There you go.
And if the systems and the training and the processes aren't in place, then they have so much further to fall.
Right.
Than if you have that baseline strategy. And there's a lot of business owners that make 6 figures or multi 6 figures just because they're good at solving a particular problem. But if you come in and you add traffic and leads and all that stuff to somebody that doesn't have that stuff in place, then not only are they going to not only are you going to break their business, but they're going to suffer in the sales department as a result, because of like the mental stress and the cognitive load that goes into trying to fix something that's broken.
Totally. So how do you guys work with a business? You got to make sure that they've got the capacity, I assume, for more leads, and then you guys go out and you do everything, right? Unpack that just a little bit.
Yeah, so there's 3 qualifications for somebody to work with us. Okay. Number 1 is the program high ticket. Like because everything that we do is predicated on ads, we need your profit margins to be in a certain range in order for it to make sense. And we talk about that up front with everybody that comes through our doors. Second thing is that you need to have an offer or a lead magnet that's currently converting at least organic traffic, because if it converts organic traffic, that's typically a good indicator that it'll do fairly well with ads. And if not, then there's stuff that you can do to the offer within the ads that'll help make it rise. And number 3, they have to be making at least 7 or 8K a month. Because if you're not, then that's an indicator that there's something wrong with your offer and your market fit.
Yeah. Good.
So those are the 3 things we look at up front. But when they come in, we build the systems and the processes that they don't have and fill in those gaps.
Yeah.
During a 2-week onboarding process. And we don't want to launch anything until both Mayhem as a company and whoever the partner is that we're working with really feels that it's going to be an asset, right? Yeah. So when it comes to, let's say you've got 5 different videos for your TikTok ads, for example, we're going to edit those videos for you and we're going to provide a finished product. But if you're not happy with one of those 5, then by all means, send it back to editing, because we don't want to send out something that you're not happy with.
Right. Absolutely. And the tipping point here that I want people to understand is, if you've got a coaching program, or if you're a consultant and you hit the qualifications, you can do this stuff on your own, right?
You can
You can
100%.
slug through the muck and the mire and get it done. You're going to slow your business down, and it's and you're not only buying, you know, what you're offering, Wayne. They're not buying just the stuff. They're buying you and your expertise and your background, your knowledge, the fact that you work with so many other coaches and things to say, oh, you know what? This worked over here with John. It's going to work with Amy. Amy, have we thought about this? And she's like, no, right? That's what people get when they outsource to somebody like you, right?
Yeah, exactly. And not only that, their own time back. Like once you, especially once you start getting up into those 3, 5, 10K offer type of price ranges, people are paying you for your expertise. So you need to be able to leverage spending more time doing that stuff to keep that revenue coming in. So yes, part of it's the expertise, part of it's the time, but more importantly, like all of that stuff and all the work that we do together is part of the reason why we provide the guarantee on the ROI, because it's just like, look, we want to make sure that you feel like there's going to be somebody on your side in the background doing the work when you don't have the time or the knowledge.
Right. Right. And those guarantees are nice because they relieve some of the stress to know, okay, well, what if this doesn't happen? Right. I've got for our company, I've got a 2-year double your money back guarantee because I know it works. Right. And and I've had people say, well, tell me about that. How does that work? Why is it? Shut up. It's okay. But I don't know. But it's when you're confident in what you offer and you know that it works when you put it together properly, I got no issues offering a guarantee, right? Because
yeah, exactly.
It works. And
that's the thing too, is that I talk to anywhere between 20 to 30 coaches every single week personally. And if I had $1 for every time somebody, oh, my offer's unique and this is why, and they go in and then they proceed to follow up that statement with the same thing that I had previously heard from 5 other coaches earlier that week.
Yeah.
Well, first off, I probably wouldn't have a business, but more importantly than that is that we need to look at different ways to position the offer that you haven't thought of, because so many people get close to their product and close to their programs and close to their thing because it's their baby.
Yep.
Right. And the hard part about being a marketing agency and coming in is that so many people get defensive when you tell them that their baby is ugly.
That's right. That's right.
I would too. If you told me my son was ugly, I'd probably punch you in the face.
That's right.
But
so,
we've got to look at this objectively for the offer itself.
Yeah.
And not all offers are created equal. And if you don't have some sort of a risk reversal or guarantee, then I guarantee you there's somebody else out there in the marketplace that does something similar to what you do that's willing to back their words up with a risk reversal or a guarantee.
That's right. Yeah. One of my marketing mentors I've been following him for 30 some odd years. He says, the business owner is uniquely unqualified to make good decisions about his own business.
I'm gonna steal that one from you, Michael.
You can take it, but yeah, but it's so true. I tell people all the time, Wayne, I'm a marketing guy. I get marketing and credibility. I have 3 marketing coaches for my business for that exact reason. I am way too close to this. Now I can look at your business and in a minute figure out what it is, right? But that's different because I'm looking from the outside in. So you're so right in that. And that's why business owners, coaches, consultants, they really need to have that conversation with you. If they've got that high ticket offer, this is not for somebody selling a $199 course, right?
No,
we're talking 5K or above. Is that ballpark?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We can work with something that's like 2K or 3K. It's just, you gotta start pumping volume when you look at that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And that's fine. It's just a conversation needs to happen with that before we take any steps.
Yeah. So that kind of gives you the ballpark as you're listening. If that's kind of the world that you're living in and you're really wanting to take your business to the next level, it might just be as simple as a marketing tweak. It might be some other things, but I think Wayne's probably got enough background in this industry and understanding how to do it that it's definitely worth a conversation. And talk to him about that guarantee, because not everybody offers those. And I applaud entrepreneurs who will put a guarantee out there, because it takes guts and it speaks to credibility that you're going to stand behind what you say. And I appreciate that.
For sure.
How do people, where do they go? And any last minute comments before you tell people?
Yeah, I mean, so if they want to find more about us, then anybody can go to mayhemdigitalmedia.com. We also have a site that is called Go Mayhem Digital, that's about the current offerings and the current results that our clients receive and all that stuff that you guys can check out. So mayhemdigitalmedia.com or go mayhemdigital.com. You can use either of those sites to check out more about what we do. The guarantee is straightforward and really, really simple. If we do not fill your pipeline within 30 days of us launching a campaign, we will give you every single dollar that you spend back. Period.
There you go.
For most coaches, that usually means a pipeline of 20 to 30 good, solid people raising their hand every single month.
Yeah.
But I've got clients that have scaled up into the hundreds of leads. So it really depends on where you're at with the business as to how that part works. But whether or not you're at 100 leads a month or 20 or 30, it's something that we can definitely handle for sure.
That's amazing. That's a great guarantee because it's simple and there are no loopholes. You made me do zero, what I call mental gymnastics. What does that mean? What?
We don't like regular gymnastics. Why do we want to do mental ones either?
I love it. I love it. Okay. Wayne Ledoux. I appreciate that. Thanks for Mayhem Digital Marketing. I'm going to have all of that in the show notes. You can go check them out. Find out, just check them out. Learn what they do, how they can help you get more great quality appointments booked on your calendar so you can convert more clients and grow your business without you having to do it. Inbound marketing is brilliant. It's lovely when you wake up every day or every week and you see that your calendar is filled with prospects. That's what Wayne can help you do. So Wayne,
never worry about where the next lead appointment or client is coming from.
I love it. That's a good line. I might steal that one from you.
By all means, I didn't trademark it, so go for it, Michael.
Awesome. Wayne, thank you, man. It's been a joy having you. Great conversation.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate your time. It was a pleasure.